Okay guys, we're in my shared studio space today. I'm going to be showing you some different plein air setups. This is my studio that I share with other artists inside the larger NC Arts Incubator facility. So let's come on in and look at these plein air setups, and I'll show you what I take when I travel. Hey guys, this is Justin with Adventures in Art and Travel and Justin Holdren Fine Art Studio. We're in my industrial studio today in the NC Arts Incubator building. You can see behind me it's an industrial building. This is where I do most of my work for gallery shows and exhibits and studio shows, but I'm going to do a video today about some different inexpensive lightweight plein air setups I've got set up over here for painting outdoors and for painting. A lot of people have asked me, what do I carry when I travel, especially when we're going to theme parks or things of that nature where I don't have a lot of room or a lot of time to paint. So I'm going to show you those setups that I use locally and that I use when I travel today. And we're going to review the different types, and I'll show you how you can have an affordable setup to take with you when you travel, so you can get those paintings down or sketches or those travel memories. Alright guys, so we're going to start from large to small. For painting large outdoors, this is just a basic field easel. I'm sorry, you see my paintings there in the background. I'm getting ready for an art show, so the warehouse studio here is a mess right now. But it's just an inexpensive art easel. I think I picked it up for $60 or $70. Might have been cheaper than that, but it is adjustable. This top piece moves if you do watercolor. You can fold it back, but when I want to work large outside, when I want to work say like 16 by 20 or bigger, I take this one and you say, well, what do you use for the palette? Because a lot of them have a built-in palette. That I've set the painting up on this, and then I have another paint box. I'm going to put it next here. And this is an industrial warehouse space I share with other artists, so forgive the messes in the background. This is a working space, not our gallery space. So I will take this, and then this is my Gorilla Painter box, which I also use as a box unto itself, but I will mount this on a tripod next to this easel, lay my acrylic palette or oil palette there, and I have it right next to the easel, and I can mix there and keep my water and brushes there and just use the big easel. And I usually weight it down with my backpack, because it is sort of lightweight. So that is the large setup, and then we'll move on to the sort of medium setup now. Alright guys, so this is the medium setup. This is from Gorilla Painter Judson's Plein Air. I bought this box a couple of years ago. I think it was about $100. So this is, as we go smaller, I'll show you the things but this is probably the most expensive thing I've bought. It was a nice finished hardwood box, and it's got a removable palette, place for all your brushes and paints. So it's actually sized for 8 by 10 pieces, and I'll show you how that works. This little clamp, this little thing releases, and sorry guys, I'm one-handed today because my tripod got left at home. I do apologize. But you just slide the panel in there. This is much easier when you're using both hands. It's got a magnet, and it holds the painting in place there. And this is a painting I did in Oak Island of the marshes there, an oil painting. But so I use this. This is great for 8 by 10s. It's great that it holds them in there, and you can, you know, it keeps it all away. And when the painting's wet, you know, it can still be wet, and it's recessed enough. You can fold it down, and it doesn't smear your paints. It doesn't get on your painting. So it will carry wet paintings. It'll actually carry another panel behind it, back to back. So it's sort of a wet painting carrier as well. So you get some benefit from that. I just don't like with it being recessed in here, you have limited hand movement where your hand's touching the paint. Lots of times I will go a little bit bigger than 8 by 10 and move the panel up and use big binder clips and mount it to the side or a bungee, and then I can paint bigger. So this is pretty much, if you want to, it's a little heavy on the tripod, but pretty much if you want a whole portable studio, you can carry oils, acrylics, whatever it is you paint with in there. And it does, this is their model card, it's called the cigar box. Now they have since updated it to something else, but it does have a sturdy, it's stainless steel, that's not going anywhere. I've not had problems with it. So it does have a tripod mount, so you can mount that baby on a tripod, and then you're good. But that is sort of the medium setup. I use this mostly when I'm around my home, or if we go on trips like to the beach or the mountains, where I know I'm actually going to have time in the afternoon or early morning before the family gets going on activities to do some painting. Typically on Florida trips and other trips you've seen us do on our channel here, theme park trips, I don't have time to take anything this big because I don't have time to get that much down. So most of those trips is just sketching in a sketchbook and taking pictures. So, but this is the medium setup, and that is from Judson's Plein Air. You can find them online, and they also sell them at jerrysartorama.com. Like I said, the model has changed, so it may be a little different. Now we're going to move on to one of my favorite. All right, guys, this is one of my favorite. I actually modeled this, I sort of borrowed this design from, I got one from a lady online years ago that used to make these, and basically just copied her design. But this is ultra cheap. They are small, so you're limited to working small, but you know, if you're on a trip and the choice is doing a small painting and doing nothing at all, at least you get a little study down or a little record of the place that you can use in the studio later along with your photos. But this is just a cigar box I got from a tobacco shop for like a couple of bucks. And as you can see, I just threw some old paints that I had in here. I don't really use this kind anymore. But, threw some molds in here. It does hold brushes and paints, and I do have a little recessed wood palette. I think I left it in my home studio before I came here today, but it sits on these little risers, so you can put the palette here, mix here. If you're doing acrylics or something, you can just put a disposable palette pad here or slap a piece of foam core in there. But this is great for working small. There's a little ledge here, as you can see, so a panel or a canvas will fit right there, and then you just paint, and you do have a lot of room to move, you know. I do have some little clips. I just clip a little water cup or put a little hanger and hang my terp can from it. But I just made a little block of wood. We cut a little block of wood as a stop, so it would stop. It'll hold the lid open. And the hardware on these is pretty cheap. You may have to replace it. I have not had to with this one. It's gotten a lot of abuse. So it's been all the way to Florida, Savannah. It's been everywhere. So, and I did put a tripod mount here on this one. So it actually will mount to a tripod. And you know this, I have a tiny little duffel bag. I mean, it's tiny. It's a tiny bag. You can see there. Sorry, my studio's a mess right now. I'm getting ready for a show. But that tiny little bag will hold this. We'll hold this other lighter weight setup, hold tons of pens and pencils. So if I don't want to take this larger setup, this is great, and I can still get paintings done on the go. You know, albeit they're small, but still allows me to get a record of a place we're traveling to. So this I use on a theme park trip or something. Can't use this in the park, but I do use it at night back in the hotel. Maybe doing a painting of the room or a painting of our view or painting on the grounds of the hotel. So that's a good one for travel. This is one I carry all the time, no matter where we go. This and my lighter weight setup, which I'm getting ready to show you. The smallest setup, if you want to go just the most simple, but still get a record of your travel. If you want a record of your travels and you don't want to lug painting gear, this is just, I love to draw and sketch. I mean, I actually love just drawing and sketching in pen, pencil, with some loose watercolor washes. I love that almost as much as doing my larger work for my shows and for galleries. But I do have a smaller set. This is a watercolor set, and like I said, this fits in a little bag. But it's just a watercolor set with a removable palette. I'm sorry, guys, I'm doing this one-handed. I'm so sorry, I forgot my tripod today. My assistant couldn't come and help me today, so this attaches here to give you extra mixing space, and as you can see, the reservoir, it will even hold your little brushes. These are pan watercolors. They're just activated when you wet them, and if you want to go small, you can carry that. I actually have another watercolor kit that I don't have with me today, but that's about the size of this little pad. It's small, and you open it, and it's actually got a brush holder and a tiny little brush with it and everything. But when we're on the go, lots of times, if it's a theme park trip or something, I will get either these Prismacolor archival pens. They're waterproof, bleed proof. They have different points. This is a chisel tip. This is a point like a brush. If you want to get a little bit more artistic, these are just fine point pens. I will do pen sketches in things like this tiny little watercolor postcard block, and then just float watercolor washes over them. Let me show you. This is actually a theme park sketchbook. So this is from some of our theme park trips. So as you can see, it's just pen. These are not going to be finished paintings you sell, obviously, because they have copyrighted material on them, but just capturing the scenes around you when you're there. Did this from memory in the hotel. Did this one from the back of a restaurant, and then finished it at the hotel, just a sketch of the Hogwarts castle. This is typical of like what I was talking about. Did a drawing in pen when we got back to the room of Disney Springs. We were there shopping. Did a drawing in pen, one of these pens. And then just floated some watercolor washes over it. And these are just going to be records of your memories and your travel for you. And this would not be necessarily a finished painting that I would sell, but these are great to have as a record to flip back to, and they kind of jog my memory of places we've been. So like taking the little trip all over again. This is to some chocolate factory. Chocolate Emporium, awesome restaurant in Universal Seawalk. But as you can see, it's just these are just quick little sketches in pen, and I'm just floating either acrylic or watercolor washes over them. This is in Universal in the Springfield area, the Simpsons, Lard Lad Donuts. Good donuts at that place. And then you see here I started one and didn't finish it, of the lobby at Polynesian Resort in Disney. And then there's some others that I have started, but just didn't get to finish while we were there. But as you can see, if you want to go really portable, you could get away with this little 4x6 watercolor block with these pens. You don't even have to take this big one. I could take my small one, and they all fit stacked on one another and fit right in my pocket. So that is the lightest weight setup. So there you have it, the lightest weight cigar box, which I use a lot. That's a light, small thing. So these two are the ones I carry most when I travel. If it's like a theme park trip, if we're going, somewhere where I have more time to paint, we'll take this bigger box. But and then we have the biggies that we showed you before. So I hope that gives you some insight into what you can carry with you. And you can carry these. I carry in that small green bag I showed you, and it doesn't take up any room hardly in our luggage when we travel. So if you're going somewhere like a theme park, you think you don't have the room, you can get by with just a little pen set, this, and a little little cake watercolor set. And if it's the choice of not doing any paintings or doing small ones, at least you'd have a small record of your trip, and it's a fun way to capture your travels. So I will put some links down below. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it gave you sort of an insight into what I carry when I travel. Like I said, the watercolor kit and the cigar box fit in a little tiny green bag, and I can have all the pens and pencils I want to sketch when we're at theme park locations and stuff like that. So be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you like art videos, if you like travel videos. We have them separated into playlists. That's our two passions, is art and travel. So we have the art videos, but then I also have, when we travel to Disney, Universal, we also do reviews of restaurants and hotels and all. And we've put them in separate playlists from some adventures from our family as well. So I hope to see you next time. I will put links down below for the studio tour and some other related art videos I have on the channel. And please like and subscribe. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.